All right, jumbo, everyone. My name is Chelsea, and I'll be your driver on today's safari. Is it anybody's first safari? Yes, wonderful. So while we're out there, you're probably going to want to take as many pictures as humanly possible, so keep those cameras in mind.
Go see a giraffe. His neck is so long.
You might have seen over there on your left-hand side, top of the hill, these are greater kudu. I can tell they are female because they do not have horns. Male greater kudu will grow their horns to be about 6 feet long, whereas females don't have them. And over there on your right-hand side, there is an okapi. Now, I know you're looking at those legs. You're like, oh, that is so zebra chic. It must be related to the zebra. But actually, it's not. It's related to the giraffe. Yeah, in common, they have long prehensile tongues that help them grab the leaves off of trees and bushes, and fur-covered horns on top of their head. Rhino way up there.
Rhino.
Not facing us at all. You might see that tail. That's a lot like that. They get to be about 3,000 pounds and fully grown, and they're a rather rare sight, as there are less than 5,000 of them left in the world today. Extremely unfortunate, and honestly makes no sense. The reason the numbers are doing so poorly is because they get poached for their horns, which are made of the same thing that our fingernails and hair is made of keratin. So why are they getting poached for something we already have too much of? Oh, I think I see something through the bushes up ahead. Oh wait, look over the ridge on your left-hand side.
Whoa, Ellie, you see the rhino? Look up, up,
Oh my god, a little hard to get a view.
You see it? Over there, right there, right there. You see him?
And up here, Mom.
Wow, he's drinking.
Looks like up ahead we get to see some bongos. Bongos are considered the ghosts of the forest because they are really rarely seen. So we're actually really lucky to be able to find bongos. You might notice their horns are very slick back to their heads, so they can easily slide through the brush around here without getting tangled. I mean, under the river, so normally have to search the water for them. But look at the shore on the far side. There are a couple Nile hippopotamuses.
See him?
Look just around the riverbed on your left-hand side, there are a couple more.
You see through there? Over there.
Oh, there's a baby. Okay, look over here, the one closer on your left-hand side. There's actually a baby. She's
there's a baby
actually
in the
towards
water.
her belly. Not quite above the surface. He's like just hanging out right under the surface. This one closest to us on the left, he's actually down by your belly, underneath the surface. I'm not sure he's coming up anytime soon. When fully grown, they can get to be about 5,500 pounds and fully grown. You might actually see him under the water over there. And they can hold their breath for about 8 minutes. Not sure how long the baby's here, but they're probably long too. Oh, there you go. The thing is, they are extremely territorial, which makes them one of the most dangerous animals here in Africa. But before we go, let me introduce these birds around here in the water. They are pink-backed pelicans. Their backs will actually turn pink during mating season so they can attract a mate. So then pink is a really attractive color. There's a couple hippos up ahead here too. Also my favorite bird, that blackbird, the furthest right on that
Oh, look
branch
at their
over there.
baby, Ali.
It's a white-breasted cormorant. It can swim under the water a lot like a penguin. However, the cormorant can fly, so it has that over the penguin. But it looks like we also get to see some Nile crocodiles. They can get to be about 18 to 20 feet long when fully grown. And if you see them holding open their mouths, that is nuts. They can show off their pearly whites. Rather, it is so to let out all that hot body heat within them because they are, in fact, cold-blooded creatures. Which means they can cool body temperature than warm-blooded creatures. They can hold their breath for about 2 hours, making them excellent large animals.
Did you see that crocodile, Mace?
Yeah.
Is it cool?
Yeah, just a question. Are there any animals we really want to see today?
Lion!
Lions, yeah, we'll try to find the lions maybe tonight. Any others? Giraffes, yeah, nice and tall. They might find us where we find them. Any others? Monkeys, oh, I like monkeys. They're fun. Gorillas, see, those they don't like the trucks much. But there's a walking trail, like to get close to them too. Cheetahs, you want to try to catch up with the cheetah? I hear elephants back there. Yeah, so there's some elephants. They're my favorites. Now let's see. Majority of the animals we just named live on the savannah. And can you guess where we just made it to?
Savannah?
Now the savanna, as you can see, is a lot more open than the forest is. It has a lot less bushes and trees, and it also has a lot less water than the Safi River, which is excellent because it fits the animals of this ecosystem perfectly.
Any tigers or no tigers?
Yeah, see, tigers live in Asia, which is so far away from Africa.
Come, baby, come.
This one lion. What is that?
Now, up ahead, I do see some humongous horns, which belong to the Ankole cattle. You would think those horns would be pretty heavy. I mean, they are huge, like 6 feet from tip to tip. However, probably not as heavy a couple carnivores it could be. I do see over there on the right-hand side of that den, kind of behind it, there's some painted dogs or African wild dogs. They have a 90% success rate when it comes to catching their prey, which, so you know, is higher than a lion's, a lot higher than a lion's. And that is because rather than chasing and then pouncing on their prey, they'll chase the prey, so the prey just drops from exhaustion and then they go catch it. So although they are adorable, I do not want to test their viciousness, so we're gonna get off their territory soon. We get to see some more Ankole cattle on our left, but also beyond them in the back over there, still on your left-hand side, there's sable antelope. The coats of the male antelope is a bit darker than that of females, and when they have young in their group, they will sit in a circle around their young and fetch from attention. And the mounds you see on your right and left-hand side are termite mounds. Termites can build them to be about 30 feet tall, and they are harder than concrete. So they can be used for a scratching post even by an elephant, and they will not in October. But eventually they will get run down, and when they are, that is when a small antelope can jump on top of them and use it as a lookout post for oncoming predators. I do see a few animals over here on your left-hand side in the opening. Kind of in the clearing, which is actually an interesting thing. So this environment itself is actually shaped by the animals that live around here. Such as, look, the grass is very nicely trimmed in most of these areas. I assume the tasty grass because there's a lot of grazing animals. And the leaves on the trees that only come down so far because there's giraffes around here that will trim these trees just like this with their 18.5-inch long tongues.
There's a baby.
Largest antelope in Africa.
Baby in the
Male
bushes
emus
there.
can get to be about 2,000 pounds of fully grown, and they can launch that weight 6 to 8 feet in the air when they jump. Can you imagine that? It's like a ton being launched just over your head. And giraffe. Maasai giraffe. Maasai is a reference to their patterns. Giraffes get to be about 18 to 20 feet tall and fully grown, the same height as a crocodile is long, and they only sleep about 30 minutes of the day. When they do sleep, they have to do so either sitting down or standing up because they are far too vulnerable to sleep laying down.
Mace. Say cheese.
Now, when they're born, they're about 6 feet tall. That is 6 feet from born. When they're adolescent, which is about the smaller one over here on your left-hand side, they're about 12 feet tall, and fully grown is the one behind him. That is about 18 to 20 feet tall. You can see them sitting down on the right-hand side.
Maybe soon, yeah.
Macy, look. Look, Macy.
Oh, it's pretty tall.
Ali.
I can see more springbok and wildebeest over here on your right. Springbok rocking about 6 feet in the air, 13 feet distance. Wildebeest, otherwise known as the new GNU, because of the sound they make. It's not a moo like a cow, it's more of a shoo.
I saw an elephant.
Ah, and I also see a trail of fallen trees up this way. Let's
Come this way.
can find which animal might have knocked these trees down, and I think we have. Yeah, beautiful elephant on the right. And look on your left right quick, there are mandrills, the largest and most colorful monkeys in Africa. Most colorful because of their nose and hindquarters. There's a couple more baby ants, included. And then you get to see this elephant. Isn't he lovely?
Right there.
In fact, you can even see the tusk marks all around and footprints on your left. Oh, look what else is on your left. Hello, lovely.
What's that, Macy? Elephant.
Macy, what is that?
These are African elephants. They can get to be about 11,000 to 14,000 pounds when fully grown. When they flap their humongous ears, they can lower their body temperature about 15 degrees. Now, their ears and their size are two ways you can tell they are, in fact, African elephants. African elephants are a bit larger than Asian elephants, and African elephant ears have a different shape. They're a bit larger and a different shape. They resemble the shape of Africa. The shape of those ears. You even get to see them playing around in the mud over there. You might notice their backs are often pretty dirty, and that is not because they're filthy animals, because truly they're not. They take baths very often. However, they do reapply that layer of mud and dirt to their backs because their skin is so sensitive they can actually get sunburnt. So the mud and dirt acts as a kind of sunscreen. Lay down. I know, right?
We're gonna go in the water.
Baby elephant, baby elephant. Look at this. Gestation period for elephants. That's long baby is with mommy, that is 22 months. And when they're born, they're about 200 pounds, give or take 100.
Almost your age.
Human equivalent. They're 9 months, and when they're born, they're about 8 pounds, give or take like 5. Over here on the left-hand side, these are greater flamingos. The pink ones are anyway. The gray ones are their younger ones, and the white ones are not flamingos. They're actually visitors from Florida? I don't know what they're doing here in Africa. Anyway, greater flamingos are the largest of the flamingo family, and they are also the lightest pink. They get that pink from the beta-carotene found in brine shrimp, a big part of their diets, so they eat a lot of shrimp, so they turn pink. Maybe we can get a view of the elephants and the flamingos in the same shot. There's always animals. It's a baby elephant. I can't even. Anyway, a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. A group of hippos is called a bloat. A group of crocodiles is called a float. A group of giraffes is called a tower. And because the rhinos have such poor eyesight, a group of rhinos is called a crash. Yeah, poor rhinos. Yeah, we had to confiscate those poachers. Can't let them get away with their horrible deeds. Oh, there's a crash in your left. Crash of white rhinos.
Oh, this is the rhinos?
So one time a crash is a good thing. White rhinos can get to be about 5,000 pounds when fully grown, compared to black rhinos 3. Also, white rhinos have a wide, flat mouth, so they can graze very easily, whereas black rhinos have more of a pointed mouth, so they can eat off of bushes and trees a bit better.
Wow. Ali.
White rhinos do not
Macy.
get their name from their color. They actually got that from a mistranslation.
Ali,
Their
look
name
here.
came from the Afrikaans word white, which means wide, not white. But it was mistranslated and therefore white rhinos.
What part of Everest?
Wide for their mouths. But I must say, this area does make me a little nervous as there's a lot of trees around here, meaning elephants didn't come to this way much to knock them all down. Oh, and I think I spotted a reason why. On your left-hand side, there are some cheetahs. Now, cheetahs can go from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, and they can hold that speed for the length of a tumble football field, a couple hundred yards, but just not too long, normally long enough to catch their prey.
Yeah, you can see
They
that.
cannot
They're
retract
laying
their
down.
claws stay out, and they help get all of that traction to go faster than they can go without. But I don't think that the cheetahs are a big enough reason for the elephants not to want to come through here. I would think there would have to be a bigger reason. With bigger teeth and bare claws, I think I've figured it out. This rock formation coming up on your left-hand side is called a kopie, and, well, can you guess what lives in a kopie?
Lion.
Lions is a good guess. Now, lions are inactive about 20 hours of the day. They are mostly active at night. And so lionesses go out, they do the majority of the hunting, and the lions will stay home and protect the pride.
Rhino is running.
There is a rhino. Running rhinos rampantly. Rioting. Run out of words. Oh, now they look all fancy and camouflage. They do roll in the mud for a similar reason to the elephants, just to stay cool. Alright, maybe another view of the rhinos up ahead. Oh, warthog. On your left-hand side, kind of look backwards a little bit. There's a warthog. Warthogs are burrowing animals. They are known to burrow, and they also love to steal the burrows from other animals. Yeah, a couple rhinos on your right.
From the warthog.
That's technically Pumbaa. Pumbaa in Swahili actually means foolish. Simba means lion, and Rafiki means friend.
Explain it.
Asante Sana means thank you. And I could go all day. So see that warthog over there? Lots of trees around here too, but I don't think this has to do with elephants. I think this has more to do with how we've made it away from the savannah and we're headed into the Glen. Bogani Glen to be specific. The Glen is kind of a mixture between the savannah and the forest, therefore if they're open, it should be easy to find these guys. Oh, and it is. Look on the top of the hill over here on your right-hand side. These birds have an extremely difficult name. It took me a long time to learn how to pronounce these birds' names. These birds are yellow-billed storks. No idea where they got their name. Anyway, they are carnivorous birds, and they will eat things like insects, frogs, and other smaller birds. So they're actually kind of fearsome. It's kind of scary, but you know, it's quite amazing to be able to see all of the animals we got to see today. But it's also really sad that a lot of them are not doing very well when it comes to their population, and that's because of poaching and overhunting and their habitats being destroyed. So we have to do what we can and make sure that these animals are here for many years to come. We can do something pretty big and very helpful, like donate to organizations like Disney's Conservation Fund, which help support reserves like this one as they repopulate the animals and maybe even rebuild a habitat or two. Or we can do something smaller but still very helpful, like build a little birdhouse in your backyard and house the wildlife in your own neighborhood. Even something as small and seemingly unimportant as recycling your cell phone can help save an animal as big or as small as an elephant. We can each do some little something to help the wildlife that lives on the same planet Earth as we do. Just so you know, you have been riding the Simba 1. If you would like to see some more animals today, you are welcome to check out Gorilla Falls Trail here in Africa, where you can see some gorillas, or Maharaja Jungle Trek over in Asia, where you can see some tigers. Do we have a pretty fun safari today?
We did.
Oh, well, I'm very glad you enjoyed it. Thank you ever so much. Let's see. This is your dog.
Oh, it's the turkey? Hey, you guys want to take a picture there? Look. There's no line. What's that?
Yeah, you drop a chicken there.
Cool, huh? Staying still.
Traditional music on these instruments. We're like to do modern things. We're gonna do our first tour dedication trip.
Dad.
This place in Himalaia is called Kahindi.
picture. And then I'll want to. This is from Avatar. Yeah. Can you take a picture?